Hello, I'm Logic Bunny, and come with me down the rabbit hole of knowledge.
Imagine a world unlike our own, a civilization brimming with innovation and power, then swallowed whole by the unforgiving sea. A world only found in stories or in the back of our minds. That's Atlantis, a mystery that has echoed through the ages, captivating historians, dreamers, and anyone who has ever felt a pull toward the unknown. The most famous account of Atlantis comes to us from the ancient Greek philosopher Plato. In his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, he describes a magnificent island civilization, a naval power that dared to challenge Athens. But, according to Plato, Atlantis met a cataclysmic end, sinking beneath the waves in a single day and night of misfortune. So, was Atlantis a real place? A vibrant society lost to time? Or is it a cautionary tale, a myth crafted to illustrate the dangers of hubris and unchecked ambition? And if it was real, where could we even start looking? Could it be somewhere in the Mediterranean? Or perhaps far out in the Atlantic, a secret hidden for thousands of years? Think of other great mysteries that have gripped our imagination. The identity of Jack the Ripper, for example, or the fabled city of El Dorado, shimmering with gold. These enigmas, like Atlantis, speak to our deep-seated desire to uncover the truth, to solve the puzzle, to find what's lost. Why does the tale of Atlantis continue to resonate so strongly, even now? What is it about this lost city that captures our collective imagination? The answer might surprise you. Let's dive deeper into the source, the very blueprint of the Atlantis story, Plato's dialogues, Critias and Timaeus. Here, we find a detailed description of a civilization unlike any other. Plato paints a picture of a land with a unique geography, advanced technology, and a complex society. He describes concentric rings of land and water, bustling with trade and innovation. But here's a crucial point. We must beware of oversimplification. The Atlantis story is often reduced to a simple lost city narrative, a treasure hunt for underwater ruins. But Plato's intention was far more profound. He crafted Atlantis as a cautionary tale, a warning about the perils of hubris, greed, and the dangers of unchecked power. Atlantis wasn't just a place, it was a symbol. So, how do we separate Plato's philosophical allegory from potential historical inspiration? Did Plato base Atlantis on real events, a distorted memory of a past civilization? Or was it purely a product of his imagination, a thought experiment designed to explore political and moral themes? Imagine you are an archaeologist, tasked with verifying Plato's account. What evidence would you seek? Sunken cities, advanced artifacts, and what challenges would you face in interpreting such discoveries? Ultimately, the story of Atlantis fulfills deep psychological needs. It speaks to our desire for a lost golden age, a time of unparalleled prosperity and wisdom. It serves as a warning about societal collapse, reminding us of the fragility of civilization. Atlantis becomes a canvas for our hopes and fears, a mirror reflecting our own aspirations and anxieties. What if we could find it? What would we learn? Over the centuries, the legend of Atlantis has spurred countless expeditions and ignited wild theories. From the mid-19th century claims of Ignatius Donnelly, who placed Atlantis in the Atlantic Ocean, to modern-day explorations using advanced technology, the search for Atlantis has been relentless. Candidate locations abound. Some believe Atlantis lies somewhere in the Atlantic, perhaps near the Azores or Canary Islands. Others point to the Mediterranean Sea, suggesting a connection to ancient civilizations in that region. More outlandish theories place Atlantis in Antarctica or even South America. But what fuels these diverse claims? One fatal flaw often plagues those seeking Atlantis: confirmation bias. Many researchers selectively interpret evidence to fit their pre-existing beliefs. They see what they want to see rather than objectively evaluating the data. This can lead to misinterpretations and unsubstantiated claims. Interestingly, the real story of the Minoan civilization on Crete offers a compelling parallel. The eruption of Thera, now known as Santorini, a volcanic island north of Crete, around 1600 BCE, caused a tsunami that devastated the Minoan civilization. Could this catastrophic event have inspired the Atlantis legend, passed down through generations and embellished over time? How can we discern fact from fiction in the myriad of Atlantis theories? First, evaluate the source's credibility. Is the researcher a reputable scholar or someone with a personal agenda? Second, assess the evidence presented. Is it based on solid data or speculation? Third, consider alternative explanations. Are there other, more plausible explanations for the evidence? Stay curious and skeptical. But could a civilization actually sink beneath the waves? Let's explore the science of submergence. Geology offers several possibilities. Earthquakes, volcanic activity, and rising sea levels can all contribute to the sinking of islands or land masses. Tectonic shifts can cause land to subside, while volcanic eruptions can create tsunamis that inundate coastal areas. And, of course, climate change and melting glaciers lead to rising sea levels, threatening low-lying regions. The thrill of discovery and the allure of the unknown can be powerful motivators. Dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward, floods our brains when we encounter something new and exciting. This can cloud our judgment and lead us to accept unsubstantiated claims, especially when they align with our pre-existing beliefs. Why does the desire to replicate experiments, ask questions, think critically, and explore topics further often stall when it comes to Atlantis? Perhaps it's due to a lack of genuinely engaging, accessible explanations for the complex geological processes involved, tailored to young audiences. Real-world examples of submerged cities and landmasses offer tangible evidence of the power of nature. Pavlopetri in Greece, an ancient city submerged off the coast of the Peloponnese, provides a glimpse into a past swallowed by the sea. Doggerland, a landmass that once connected Britain to mainland Europe, now lies beneath the North Sea, a testament to the changing face of our planet. However, it's important to debunk common misconceptions about how land masses sink. It's rarely a sudden, catastrophic event as depicted in the Atlantis myth. Submergence is typically a gradual process, unfolding over centuries or millennia. What natural forces could have contributed to the Atlantis story? The legend of Atlantis has taken on a life of its own in pop culture, evolving and adapting to reflect our changing anxieties and aspirations. From Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, where Captain Nemo explores underwater ruins, to Disney's Atlantis, The Lost Empire, which depicts a technologically advanced civilization. Atlantis has captured our imaginations in countless ways. How does the Atlantis story reflect our evolving anxieties and aspirations? In some versions, Atlantis represents the dangers of unchecked technological progress, a warning about the potential for innovation to lead to destruction. In others, it embodies our aspirations for a utopian society, a place of peace, harmony, and advanced knowledge. Sadly, society often distorts the image of the inquisitive explorer, the clever problem solver, the knowledgeable guide, and the friendly scientist, presenting them instead as obsessive treasure hunters, driven by greed rather than a genuine desire for knowledge. The story of Leonardo da Vinci reveals the power of observation, the value of experimentation, and the interconnectedness of knowledge across disciplines. But perhaps the real lesson of Atlantis is that the power of imagination and storytelling can inspire us to explore and create, even in the absence of concrete evidence. What is the emotional consequence of losing that sense of wonder and curiosity? A diminished sense of wonder and a reluctance to engage with complex ideas. What if we could encourage children to engage with Atlantis in a way that fuels their curiosity? Why does the mystery of Atlantis continue to endure? What is it about this lost civilization that holds such a powerful grip on our collective imagination? Part of the answer lies in the psychological appeal of lost civilizations. Humans are inherently fascinated by vanished cultures, the mysteries of the past, and the stories of those who came before us. Atlantis acts as a mirror, reflecting our own hopes, fears, and anxieties about the future of civilization. It allows us to explore questions about progress, technology, and the delicate balance between innovation and destruction. How can we use empirical sciences and world phenomena to discern the underlying logic and principles governing science, technology, history, and culture, and to understand the mechanisms behind intriguing phenomena by fostering critical thinking, encouraging skepticism, and promoting a love of learning? The Atlantis myth continues to inspire creativity, exploration, and a sense of wonder about the world around us. It reminds us that there are still mysteries to be solved, discoveries to be made, and stories to be told. Dopamine, acetylcholine, and serotonin can all contribute to our desire to feel intellectually stimulated, entertained, and empowered by knowledge, leading to a desire for further exploration and hands-on learning. But without critical thinking, these neurochemicals can also lead to the acceptance of unsubstantiated claims. So, stay curious, but always question everything. What will you discover? So, where does that leave us with the mystery of Atlantis? Is it a lost city waiting to be discovered, or a captivating myth that will forever remain beyond our grasp? We've explored Plato's original account, examined real-world expeditions and wild theories, delved into the science of submergence, and traced the evolution of the Atlantis legend in pop culture. We've seen the arguments for and against its existence, weighed the evidence, and considered alternative explanations. And while the allure of Atlantis remains strong, one thing is clear: conclusive evidence remains elusive. No sunken cities have been definitively identified as Atlantis, and no artifacts have been recovered that irrefutably prove its existence. But that doesn't mean the quest is over. The mystery of Atlantis continues to beckon, inviting us to explore, question, and imagine. Just as building a complex contraption requires careful planning and problem solving, unraveling historical mysteries requires a similar approach: critical thinking, thorough research, and a healthy dose of skepticism. So, I encourage you to continue exploring the mystery of Atlantis with a critical and open mind. Don't be swayed by unsubstantiated claims or fantastical theories. Instead, focus on the evidence, weigh the arguments, and draw your own conclusions. Perhaps one day, new discoveries will shed light on the truth behind the Atlantis legend, or perhaps it will forever remain a mystery, a reminder of the power of storytelling and the enduring human fascination with the unknown. What do you believe? And what will you discover in your own exploration of this enduring enigma? Stay curious.